Hello and welcome, everyone. It is so good to see each of you here today. My name is Gail Smith, and welcome to Moringa Benefits. And I get to introduce every week, so this is my wonderful thing I do. Sorry. The certified health coach and holistic wellness practitioner, Miss Jane Garvison, and the founder of Healing Through Nutrition. It's her passion to inspire people to create a healthier lifestyle with natural remedies, helping them improve in their health and wellness so they can live joyfully, confidently, and disease-free with more energy and longevity. As a wellness practitioner and personal health mentor for 6+ years, she is deeply committed to the health of every client and offers a customized coaching experience where you partner with her to achieve your health goals. And God bless each one of you for coming. And I also pray blessings on this meeting. And I turn it over to Miss Jane Garverson. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Gail, so much. You're always so inspiring. Make my head swell. No. Yeah, so let me go ahead and share my screen because we're going to talk about, let's see if I can find it on here. There we go. Let me hit my present button to make it nice and big. Can you see my screen, Gail?
No,
You can't?
no.
Oh, okay. Well, let me try it again then. There we go. Now I bet you can,
Yes.
but that's not the right one. How about now?
There you go.
Okay. User problems. Okay. So today we're going to talk about 5G. And I know it's a controversial subject. But I think that I know for me, I have seen enough from a lot of a lot of doctors and scientists who do raise concerns about the 5G. And it's pretty much everywhere now. 5G is started off a little slow, but I think it's pretty much everywhere. And it does improve our lives to the point where our what we're doing now moves faster across the airwaves, right? So we can be in real time on doing a lot of stuff. It makes anything we do on our phones goes faster. But like this says, it's widely debated, but there is potential risks for 5G and what those effects are on the human body. Exposure to radiation, to biological effects, the things that people feel. Some people are very sensitive to it, and others may never experience anything or don't even notice that anything's happening. There's a lot of studies out there, a lot of advocacy groups that raise concerns and are very vocal about our exposure to 5G and the dangers that are involved there. And there are other organizations that say you guys are all wacko, everything's fine, you don't need to worry about it. But you can see from the picture here, that's just one photograph of what one of those 5G towers looks like. So you can see, and if you're out and about, you'll notice them. Some of them are actually really small, are much smaller, but 5G it's really increased exposure to radio frequency radiation, or RF, right? So the 5G, it operates at higher frequencies than we had before with 4G, and before that we had 3G, right? So the World Health Organization and the FCC, they all tell us that all of the exposure that we experience are within the safety limits, but there are other organizations who challenge that. And I guess it's kind of up to each one of us to determine how seriously we take that, if we have those concerns, or if we're concerned about our increased exposure to those radio frequency radiations, right? So got to get this out of the way so I can see. So here's what the studies are showing. Some of the studies suggest that the RF radiation may actually cause that oxidative stress. And we know that oxidative stress is, we require antioxidants to take care of that, which obviously we find in moringa, right? But it goes all the way down to the damage in our DNA, cellular dysfunction, and potentially setting us up for chronic diseases. And they've done animal studies that have linked exposure to actually tumors in animals. And in 2011, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, they reported it as a possible carcinogenic frequency, right? And then the impact on the central nervous system, I think, is probably gets the biggest amount of press because of what that frequencies and that radiation can do to our central nervous system. And people that are very sensitive that say they have issues with headaches, sleep disturbances, memory issues. If they have electronics in their bedroom, they can feel it. They feel that it causes them issues with those things like headaches and things like that. And the concern is that the millimeter waves may actually penetrate the skin and interact with nerve endings. But again, scientific evidence says it remains inconclusive. So I think it's really up to each one of us to kind of do our research, pay attention, and see where this all may be leading. And it may be even too early to really come to a full-blown conclusion because we haven't had 5G around for a really long, super long time. So symptoms of fatigue, dizziness, and nausea have been reported in areas that have really high exposure to 5G, where if you live under those towers, and this electro hypersensitivity is actually a medical condition. And some people believe that it's totally related to that RF health effects. Oops, I went backwards. So here's a way that we can protect ourselves to a certain degree from that 5G exposure. And that is with a little device. It's called EMF Protection, which stands for electromagnetic fields. And it can actually stop that 5G exposure from us. So let me just show you on the back of my phone, if you can see it there, I have a little EMF that has adhesive on the back. I've actually just stuck it to the back of my phone. And you can do this on all of your electronic devices. You can do it smart TVs, on your tablets, your computers and things like that. And that's one way that many people are using those to reduce that exposure to the 5G radiation. And this is the one that I happen to have. Some of them come with different kinds of decoration on them or different pictures on them or whatever. But like I said, you can put them on your phone cases, you can shield your laptop. And these products contain materials that are like silver and copper that reduce that radiation exposure, anti-radiation stickers, I guess, if you want to call them that. So some of the other things that we can do is really just distance ourselves, using the speakerphone rather than having the phone up next to your head all of the time, using wireless headsets or wired headsets versus wireless, right? So when you're, maybe in your car or when you're needing to speak on the phone, we can turn off the 5G when we go to bed at night, switch it to airplane mode, and that will sever those 5G connections, and that will help limit that Wi-Fi exposure. We can actually hardwire our computer going through telephone lines versus doing a Wi-Fi connection. But then, then we suffered the consequences of going slower too. But, it's a personal decision, I suppose. And EMFs, here's where it gets really crazy because they actually have clothing that has fibers woven into it that add that EMF protection. They have I know they have blankets, they have a lot of other things like that, strengthening the body by taking our antioxidants like we get from moringa, right? And that may help reduce that oxidative stress because we're all going to get that EMF exposure no matter where we go or what we do. It's out there, it's in the air. We can't see it, but it's there. And grounding, nature exposure, a lot of people believe that spending time in nature can counteract those EMF effects. And drinking structured water, we talked about that because that structured water device is available. Drinking the structured water and minerals and may support our, because it's great for cellular support. So as long as we're supporting our cells, we can help reduce that damage done by the radiation. And actually, I think that's the end of my presentation there. So I will cut it off for now and we can go to question and answer.